Well, red wines are going to, when they are first being picked, the grapes are being picked, you're going to be picking those at a little bit different time than white wine. Grapes. You're going to be picking them at a time where the sugar levels are going to be higher. And sugar is going to be the contributing factor for the level of alcohol that is found within red wines versus white wines. So that leads itself to say that our red wines tend to have a little bit higher alcohol level than our white wines do. You're going to have more tannins in your red wines. The tannins are the characteristic that makes your mouth a dryness. And that tannin level is because when we actually make the wines, we're actually keeping the skins as well as the seeds in the process of fermenting of the wines. We don't do that with the white wines, and so that's why there's a color difference between the two. I would say, as far as a white wine, I think a good Riesling, if you like that sweetness. I would think a Pinot Grigio is a very dry wine, but it is a very nice wine that goes with lots of different types of foods. For red wines, I would definitely say Cabernet. Cabernet is definitely a mainstay with the red wines, as well as a Merlot. Pinot Noir is not going to be as much of a full-bodied as you would find with a Cabernet, but it is certainly a very nice red wine to have. Well, I think that you're going to really need to know what your taste palette is with regards to the types of foods that you like, and don't be afraid to do some contrasting with the wines that you're choosing to have with that. In other words, you could have a very nice sweet wine that might be with a salty type of a meal. I mentioned that in the wine tasting with the Rosa particularly. That was a great wine to have with poultry as well as with ham, so it has a very flexible type of taste to it. A red wine, full-bodied red wine that you typically would find in a Cabernet or Malbec is another red wine. Those are going to be great wines to have with meat, pastas, pizzas, barbecue, those types of foods would make really nice matchings. As far as the dessert wines, you want to be very careful that you don't match a very sweet wine with a very sweet dessert. You want to be able to make that a little bit of a contrast. So it would be a great recommendation might be for a dark chocolate to have with the port wine. It could even be some tarts, whether it be fruit tarts or that type of a dessert would be very nice with a very sweet dessert type of wine. Well, I think that we have all of our wines are very, very reasonable in cost, and I think they demonstrate a high quality of a nice drink to have. We have a Chardonnay that I think is very, very popular because it is a crisp, very clean type of wine. It is not a wine that is made in an oak barrel, so it doesn't have that oaky taste. But it does have a very clean, very crisp taste to it. I would also say our Cabernet is a very, very nice wine as well. And as I mentioned in the wine tasting, it is a blend with both a California Cabernet with 20% of it being a Florida bunch grape or a hybrid grape. And as a result of that, it tends to bring that wine down to a lighter body or medium bodied wine. It's not a full bodied with that. A Napa Valley Cabernet would be a full body. The Rosa that I mentioned earlier, very similar to White Zinfandel, that's going to have lots of flexibility with lots of different types of foods, as well as I said, on a warm summer afternoon, it's going to be definitely a wine that you will enjoy. And then I would say both our Vintners White and our Vintners Red are extremely popular. In fact, they are the most popular of all of our wines because they make great sangrias in the summertime. And in the wintertime, they also make a nice nice hot mulled spice wine with our Vintner's Red. So we really cover a nice array of different types of wines, both being dry and sweet. And so this would be a great venue to look at as far as considering various types of wines, coming and taking a look at our wines through wine tasting to see what might be very interesting, what might be very interesting to you.